Greetings, Kiss Nation, to everyone in the film Spinning Gold. I just got done watching the film, and I think it's pretty good. It's a movie that talks about, the history of Neil Bogart and Casablanca and what he did, and it showcases some of the more popular artists that he did work with, like obviously Kiss, Donna Summers, and the list goes on and on. Now, I'm not going to be reviewing the whole entire movie, much like what Emily Graziano did in her review of the movie I watched last night. I'm going to be talking about the Kiss aspect of the movie, because I don't know much about Donna Summers or any of the other artists that Neil Bogart signed to Casablanca. My knowledge with Casablanca and Neil Bogart is strictly with Kiss, so it would feel out of place for me to talk about, any of the other artists that Casablanca signed, although it was cool to learn a bit more about what other artists were on Casablanca. But no, as a Kiss fan, I feel more in place to talk about, Kiss, because the movie did have a bit to talk about with Kiss. So, with that out of the way, let's get this review started. So, Spinning Gold is a movie about Neil Bogart and the story of Casablanca Records. Before I get into all of that, I'm going to talk about, some songs that I didn't know that Neil Bogart was actually involved in. There's a song named Wooly Bully that my parents play in their band, which I didn't know Neil Bogart was actually involved in, so that's pretty cool. I didn't know he was involved with the Village People with the song YMCA, which we had to listen to that song in elementary school, which that was not fun. Got old real fast. And like I said in the intro, he got some people named like Donna Summers, and some guy named Billy Wivers, which I don't know anything about them, and so I'm gonna get right into Kiss. The movie actually opens up with Kiss in LA in '74 to launch Casablanca, and naturally I was kind of thinking, okay, it's '74 and Neil Bogart's gonna be having a launch party for Casablanca, and in my mind I was kind of thinking this would be like a good opportunity to start going into something off their debut album. But nope, they went into Shout It Out Loud, which is, as a hardcore Kiss fan, I'm thinking, well, this isn't right. Shout It Out Loud came in '76. Not '74. This would have been like a good moment for him to do, Strutter or Deuce or Let Me Know, Black Diamond, or something like that. But this is something that Emily Graziano said in her review, which, I agree, that the casual fans are going to be watching this movie and they're going to immediately know Shout It Out Loud. They're not going to know a song that, is on the first album, which, yeah, I guess she's right. But one thing that I was immediately focused on was the actors playing Kiss. What were they going to look like and how are they going to portray Kiss? Well, with that, I'm going to be saying this. You done fucked up. I'm not going to get into the makeup aspect because they obviously couldn't get the rights to the actual Kiss makeup. But what I'm saying about is the stage moves. Excuse me, the stage moves and the voices. It's like it was all wrong. I could let the makeup slide, but the stage moves was botched. Was totally botched. They got the era appropriate logo, right? But we'll get into era appropriate and inappropriate stuff from the 70s in a bit. But they got to open up with Kiss. They got the correct outfits for early 70s, the right outfit the semi-right outfit that Gene was wearing, the correct stuff that Paul was wearing, and be but it was not right. I know I'm gonna be saying that a lot, but Paul's voice was. I get it's hard to do Paul's voice. Even for some people in a Kiss tribute band, they can't nail it 100%. As someone who's been in a Kiss tribute band and had to, sing the songs and wear the costumes, it's not easy to accurately get the voice down, but at least make it somewhat accurate to your own voice. But apparently the guy playing Paul Stanley in the movie couldn't even do that. One thing that I did notice about the guy playing Gene, at least he had the widow's peak. His makeup was the only thing that was pretty good. Ace's makeup, the guy in the movie, was it was pretty good. I'm not gonna say anything bad about Ace's makeup in the movie because it was the only thing that looked accurate. Paul's no, all it was a painted white face, no black mark on it. The guy playing Peter's, when you see Peter in the makeup, it's okay, nothing that bad. But the only main focus on Kiss is Paul and Gene. You rarely see Ace and you rarely see Peter. And when you do see Peter, we'll get to that in a minute. But the 74-bit, that was the first time we see Kiss. Then later in the movie, we see Joyce and Bill, which is Bill Aucoin. Then the movie kind of fast forwards a bit to later in the 70s, where Kiss is performing Rock and Roll All Night, and that's kind of where I see the guy playing Paul do the shittiest attempt at a Paul Stanley stage move, where it didn't look like a Paul Stanley move. It looked like the guy trying to do the fucking Angus Young stage move. It was what is this? And while I'm at it, outside the makeup, the guys playing Paul and Gene, they kind of act like assholes. It's and honestly, as fans, this is kind of not a good representation of Gene and Paul, but we actually don't know what the relationship was between Gene and Paul and Neil Bogart, so we don't know exactly how accurate this is, or this is all just just for the movie. But still, I didn't think Gene and Paul should have been written to be dicks to Neil Bogart. Because when Paul Stanley talks about Neil Bogart, he doesn't speak to Neil. He doesn't sound like that Neil was a dick to them. He speaks about Bogart with some pride and happiness that happened to them. And it's like, that's looking back on it. This is like in the movie version of it's like, I don't understand why the movie actors playing Gene and Paul are treating Neil like dicks. It's like, don't understand that. Another thing that I don't understand is also out of makeup was Peter was playing an acoustic guitar. The movie version of Peter Criss was playing the acoustic guitar. Excuse me again. And he was playing Beth, or singing the song Beth. And apparently that pissed off Neil Bogart and was saying that he could drop Kiss from the label. And was saying that he could drop Kiss from the label. All for a big song, all for having a song like that, which in the movie, Kiss wasn't having a hit at that point in time. In the movie, but in reality, this was '76 in the movie. In that reality, Alive would have already been out, and their biggest popular hit would have been the live version of Rock and Roll All Night. But again, this is a movie, and they like to take liberties with this sort of thing. So, but I couldn't understand why Neil was pissed about Beth. But actually, if you actually heard the movie's version of Beth, it's actually not that bad. It's actually pretty good. It's a nice rendition of the song. And it's also pretty cool at the end when their actor playing Peter Criss is all maked up and costumed up and singing it. It's pretty cool. Then towards the end of the movie, they make Kiss alive, and one of the guys for Casablanca is saying that Kiss never had a single hit, and Neil Bogart is saying, oh, Kiss had plenty of hits. We just never found a way to record them in a way that was possible, or some shit like that. I may have botched the line. But yeah, they were recording Kiss Alive, and here's where I have like my biggest flaw, one of the biggest flaws of the movie is, I understand, the makeup and stuff, but if you're trying to show how Kiss grew in popularity, why did you suddenly give them like the stage budget of a modern day Kiss show? You still have like the 70s logo, the 70s candelabra, the 70s costumes, but when the camera focuses on the stage, it feels like you suddenly just time traveled to modern day, and it's like that felt out of place. It broke immersion for me. And it's like, wow, that felt so weird. 1 minute it's 76, next thing you know it's 2023. That felt weird to me. But despite the Kiss aspect of the movie all as a whole is pretty good. I got to learn about the other artists that Bogart had on Casablanca, which was pretty cool. I didn't know he had a lot of other artists besides Kiss. When I was learning about Neil Bogart through other Kiss fans, I thought it was just Donna Summers and the Village People. And of course, he had Peter Criss on as a solo act with Out of Control, which that was pretty cool. But no, I didn't realize he had so many other people, which is nice to know. But it was more than just, Kiss, Donna Summers, and the Village People, and Peter Criss, which, I'm kind of curious on, why they didn't mention that. They didn't mention that, but that was kind of after Bogart passed away, which is, I guess that's probably why they didn't mention it, but, I mean, that would have been pretty cool to mention that. But that was also after Kiss split up with the original members. But anyways, what I did find interesting that that the actor playing Bogart said that not many people is going to know who I am, but I damn sure made you dance. As Kiss fans, like hardcores, like people who studied the history of Kiss, we know who Neil Bogart is, and we actually, like, as fans who watched the Double Platinum ad, Neil Bogart walked on and was in the commercial. So we, as Kiss fans, we know who Neil Bogart is. Without Neil Bogart, Kiss wouldn't have been possible without Neil Bogart. Like, there wouldn't have been Bill Aucoin, there wouldn't have been all of that stuff. It was even mentioned in the movie where the actor playing Gene said, "Why did you take a chance on us?" That's pretty risky. And Bogart, the actor playing Bogart, kind of echoed the same thing, saying, a record company with no acts, and you picked me, and you picked me. That's the same amount of riskiness. So it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. And so yeah, like I did enjoy the movie, not just for the Kiss aspect, although the Kiss aspect was part of it, but it was also kind of cool to learn about, what Neil Bogart did with Casablanca and what he did with the music. It was also kind of cool to learn about, what other songs he was involved with. And some songs that I did hear before, I had no idea that Neil Bogart was involved with them. Again, like YMCA and Wooly Bowly, which, I had no clue that he was involved with them. So it's cool to learn that. So all in all, I mean, Spinning Gold is a really cool movie. To learn about the history of Casablanca Records and Neil Bogart, really kind of wish they would have, gotten Kiss more accurate, but it's a movie, so I'm not really going to complain that much about it. But just kind of wish they would have been a bit more accurate. Maybe that's what the Kiss ballot pick's going to be for, so they can nail the accuracy for the Kiss ballot pick, because this had more to do with Neil Bogart than it had to do with the artists. Which, that's cool. So that's been my review of Spinning Gold. Like I said, this is a pretty good movie to learn about the history of Neil Bogart and Casablanca Records. And I said I wish we could have gotten the Kiss aspect a bit more accurate, but like I said, this movie is to focus on Neil Bogart and what he did with Casablanca Records, not so much on the artists that he signed to Casablanca. Although I did like, that they did show Kiss, and they showed, some of the other artists that he signed to Casablanca Records, and it was pretty cool. I mean, yes, I do wish Kiss could have been a bit more accurate, but I'm not complaining that Kiss was in it to begin with, so seeing Kiss in the movie was cool. And for what it's worth, they played their part pretty well with what they were doing. As a fan of Kiss, I just wish it could have been a bit more accurate, but like I said in the review, that's what the biopic is for. And I will agree with Emily Graziano with this one thing. I think they should get the same guy that played Neil Bogart in this one to be in the Kiss biopic. That'd be cool, because, like, you know, he played Neil pretty well. So, like, why not get him to play in the Kiss biopic? So that'd be pretty cool. But anyways, this has been my review of Spinning Gold. Hope you liked it, and until next time, later.